Welcome to the Determined Mom Show, the only marketing podcast dedicated to guiding mom CEOs into tranquility, wealth, and multiplying those precious moments. This week on the Determined Mom Show, we have Megan Lockhart from Hello Life Academy. She is a mom of two. She's been working from home for a few years, and she is amazing. You will find so much information in this episode. She's going to teach us how to create the first $1,000 as a new entrepreneur. So she has a step-by-step formula. It is awesome, and I am super excited for her to share it with you. So here we go.
Yes, that's me. Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me, Amanda.
Yeah, definitely. So I want to let our guests get to know you a little bit. So tell us about yourself, how you got started, about Hello Life Academy, all of that good stuff.
All right. The favorite question, the elevator pitch that you lay in bed before these interviews and you sweat. You're like, what am I going to say? I know she's going to ask, who am I?
Yeah.
I am in my mid-30s. I've started this company just before my 30th birthday. I have two children, a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old, which is so crazy because time flies. It's nuts, especially in business. You keep going and you're like, oh my gosh, my kids are getting older. My business is getting older. Everything's getting older. I started the business as a Pilates and bar studio in my basement, and then it evolved into an international company helping women with their businesses, bringing them more online. So brick and mortars, network marketing companies, and all that good stuff. So yeah, in my free time, we have a place in Golden, Alberta. So we do a lot of hiking, and I mostly sit by the fire while everyone else hikes, because I'm deathly afraid of bears. That's me summed up. And Hello Life Academy is my third baby. It is primarily a 12-month mastermind for women in business. It's been incredible. We've had 8 launches, which is insane to say out loud, but 8 whole groups of women go through it. And it's been so fun.
Wow. That's a lot of people. That's awesome.
I know. It's so great.
Yeah. And I love the fact that you are afraid of bears. I was telling Megan before we started that my daughter is having a hard time with the camping trip that they're going on this weekend, and that's one of her reasons.
Okay, it's real. I had a conversation. I was at this really great conference this week, and there's like 2 schools of thoughts with fear. So what your daughter's experiencing, if people say, oh, fear's not real, you can eliminate it. But when fear becomes anxiety, I have bear anxiety. I sit by the fire and I look around all the time. I'm like, I have a really hard time relaxing. And I'm like, my fear is real, everybody.
Yeah.
So you should just tell your daughter she'll be fine and it'll work out. It is scary.
Yeah. Well, they're in a cabin too. So I think she's got to realize that that's going to help her. So we'll have that conversation on the way there. But yeah, so that's awesome. So you said, what did you do before Hello Life Academy? So maybe BK before kids and all that good stuff, and before the Pilates and bar studio.
Okay, so before kids, oh my gosh, I was a lot of fun.
Weren't we all?
But I was a lot of fun. I was everywhere and anywhere. I was a social butterfly. But for work, I created maps. So I was a GIS technician, so modern day cartography. But what was really, really boring about it was I was actually creating pipeline maps for oil and gas. So I was this really creative person, very social. I would use the word bubbly. And I was sitting at a computer. I had gone to school because I thought, oh my gosh, I get to create maps and graphics and things like that. And I ended up taking this position because oil and gas was really good financially, but pipeline drawing is, man, my heart was hurting. It was line to line to line and just was really, really crushing my creativity. I did that and then had my kids. And when I had my first, I had pretty bad postpartum and I didn't realize it. So I went back to work. Everything was okay. Then I had my second. And while I was pregnant for Rhett, who is my 5-year-old, I decided that I needed to change something and I needed to kind of, for lack of a better term, avoid postpartum depression. I was like, I need to do something because I can't go into that slump of feeling like I don't have a purpose or a position in my own life. So I enrolled for IIN, which is the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. It's a nutrition course. And I thought, well, if I learn about food and if I can learn while I'm home with him, maybe that would stimulate something else. And everything started from there. So Hello Life Studio and Hello Life Academy started from there. And I really do have to give credit to IIN because that was a powerful shift. And I should probably write them a review and say that. But at the time, I had to borrow the money to take the course. I borrowed the money because I was broke as a college. I wasn't a college student, but I was so broke.
You were a new parent you were a parent, a stay-at-home parent, right? A stay-at-home mom.
I was a stay-at-home mom and I was like, this sucks, but I borrowed the money and I wasn't sure how to pay it back. And I started to like call different people who went through IIN to question. I was like, is coaching really a thing? This isn't real. Like, you guys are lying to me. I was the biggest skeptic about online coaching and everything. I called about 12 people and I think I was starting to offend them. But anyways, then I created a course. I created an online course called the Signature Program Original, right?
It sounds like an original signature program to me.
it was like, I am not good with names. And I was creating this course and people were really interested in it. And then at the same time, I had taken my fitness instructing course. But here's the thing that most people don't know about that. I actually failed 4 times writing my test. I suck at tests and it's embarrassing to say out loud, but I totally failed my tests. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'm going to do this awesome teaching in my home. And I failed and failed and failed.
I think that's the most important part of it, is that you didn't give up.
I look back and think that too now, but it took me 3.5, 4 years to really say that out loud. Like, I failed, guys, and you loved my classes. I ended up going through a really great program again called Booty Bar with Tracy Mallet. And again, I actually did send her a thank you saying, you completely changed my perspective and life, because she didn't do written tests. She did practical tests, which was great. Anyways, so the story goes, I did this program, then I was teaching classes, and then people were asking, how did you do this? Like, how did you market? How did you do this? How did you push through? How did you change from like going from no money to making a consistent income and feeding your kids and all those great things? So I started to put together my first course for business and just teaching people, how do you open a fitness and health coach company without exhausting yourself? And that was successful. So that was kind of the start of like, whoa, this is awesome. I love doing this. And that's how I made my first $1,000 was I sold 10 of them at $100, which sounds not very much, but I really, really focused energy on giving those people a lot of value and stuff. So that is me summed up before kids and then during kids. And then here I am and my kids are like, Mama's downstairs.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Well, that sounds like a great kind of, it's almost like a journey, you know, like it wasn't easy. And I think that is kind of a misconception we see in a lot of, especially the Facebook groups and things like, hey, all you have to do is this, and it's going to be like so easy. And there's always obstacles and hurdles. And I'm so happy that you're willing to talk about them, because a lot of us aren't. I definitely have talked about mine and the things that I've tried, you know, in my journey staying home, and the things that didn't work, like insurance sales. So totally get it. So I think that's amazing. Tell us about Hello Life Academy and what that does to help women and to help them get into their first $1,000 online.
Yes. I'm going to kind of backtrack a little bit and then get there, if that's okay.
Yeah, that sounds great.
So when I was doing the studio in my house and then was launching these courses, there was a common theme with a lot of women, and myself included. It was that they didn't have their own money. It was this very like, we're 30-year-olds, we're 35-year-olds, we're 45, and we made a commitment to our families and all of these other things. And we kind of forgot that having financial freedom is empowering.
It is. I agree.
And it was really interesting because I started to then see my target market. I was like, she's a powerful person. But it's not that she wants to be broke or that she is broke because her family has money, but there's a piece missing from her bank account. And so when I was looking kind of in crowd at my clients or potential clients, I thought, these women want to create something. They want to create jobs for themselves that are going to give them permission to stay home sometimes, but travel other times, to work from their kitchen table, to have their kids run in some meetings and not offend people, primarily men, but we won't even get into that. I just noticed this and it made me really excited. I was like, all of these women are creative human beings, and there's thousands of us, thousands. And why aren't we opening up these businesses? Like, we talk about them. Most people that came to the studio to do classes ended up actually taking the booty bar training and then becoming instructors. So it was really kind of cool to see them start to step into their power. It's like, hey, I can do this too.
Yeah, that's awesome. Empowering them and giving them that realization, I think, is the hardest part for them to actually, like, that moment when the light bulb clicks and they're like, okay, I can actually do something with my skills or learn a skill and turn that into something. I think that's a great moment for women.
Yeah, I love that. And it makes me kind of even emotional now thinking back about a lot of the women that came, because I'm looking at my bar studio right now. A lot of the women that came into the studio were new moms, or they were going through really difficult times in their marriages. And they came here not to even exercise. Like, sometimes we wouldn't even exercise, but they came and they felt they got their sense back into the community. Then they felt motivated. Then they were like, man, they were rock stars. You could see them pull their shoulders up, back down, and just walk into a room in a new way. So I'm really, really thankful for everyone that came into the studio, because they were really, really powerful women. And at the time, some of them didn't know it. At the time, some of them did. But from there, I started to know that the most important thing that women were missing, two things. One was their own finances, their freedom to have the money. And then two, the community, which I know women, we all crave and talk about community, but it is friggin' hard to find. Do you find that?
Yeah, I definitely find that, especially in the area that I live in. It's a very military-oriented community, so people are always moving in and out of this community, and it's a very common thing to not make friends. People don't really have a lot of close friends around here. I only have like 2-3 people that I consider close friends. One of them is military and she's moving away next month. So,
Oh, I'm so sorry.
yeah, it's just one of those, it's just like a constant cycle of that. And yeah, I definitely, community is a difficult thing for sure.
Yeah. It's so crazy too, because with all these Facebook groups, and to kind of start talking about marketing, but all these Facebook groups, there is a sense of community, but it almost makes people feel sad when they can't connect to that community. So that's where the Hello Life Academy was kind of born. I looked and I was like, this is fantastic, but there's women all over the world that need this. What's happening in the studio needs to come together in a bigger way. So I launched the Hello Life Academy, which is, we're changing it this year though, so super excited. But it was a 12-month program to bring health coaches specifically at that time together to create community and launch their first online program, or their first kind of piece in the online space. And they rocked it. They did so amazing. And we spend weekends together. So we're either in Banff or Palm Springs, and we do meetups locally, and we've had meetups all over, but really, really cool process to watch. You know, that investment that scares you? I know, not to get fear-based, but they were afraid to ask for the money at first. But now a lot of those first clients are making more money than their partners. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's total empowerment. And also, like, kind of like, if their partner didn't believe in them or wasn't fully behind them, it's kind of like, aha, I'm showing you now, like, this is what I can do.
I have to say and admit that some of them ended up divorced because there was a power struggle, and it's a shift in your relationship. But like, they're rocking it, and that divorce was the best thing that ever happened to them. And not that I'm an advocate for divorce, but it was really, really cool to watch. And that still happens. A lot of the women create these beautiful companies, and things change when you create a company, right? Mm-hmm. Your role shifts in the house, in the community, everything. And then, it's so much fun. I can't even tell you how much fun it is. Like, we were in Palm Springs a few weeks ago, we had these great workshops, and then we rented a cabana and we hung out poolside, and like how much fun is that? Yeah. And friendships and community happen from those experiences. You cannot create that good and strong of a connection online.
No, you can't. And I think that's just hearing about it, I can totally see why this works, and this works for the women in your program, because you don't get that. Even like, I recently completed a 3-month online mastermind, and it was really great, and we're all still connected, and we, are still helping each other, but there's not that like like you had breakfast together, you had lunch together, you hung out, like it's just different.
It is totally, totally different. And I can tell, I would honestly recommend if you can go and do something in person in an intimate setting that's going to make you uncomfortable, do it. A lot of the women, it was their first time traveling on an airplane by themselves to come to these events. It was the first time that they thought, I got to get some new clothes to come to this event because I want to feel good. It was the first time that they met a stranger and then became friends with that person. And there are a lot of tears and laughter and those funny moments that you experienced when you were a kid, like somebody falling in the pool or somebody spilling their wine on someone else and then being like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just did that. Yeah. Those are moments that you can't create online.
Yeah, I agree. And those are like real life moments. And I think that's the thing that the online segment is really missing, is that like actual, like, oh my God, we're all humans, that tangible human aspect of it.
Yeah, I love that you just said that we are all humans. I say that to my clients all the time and my friends. If you want to talk to me, sit in front of me and talk to me, because guess what? I'm probably going to cry. You're probably going to cry. And we're going to feel so connected after that, or we're going to laugh and feel connected. Yeah. But it's, come for a walk with me. You got something to say. Let's talk about it. And I love that because we are humans. Even though, my whole business is built online, mm-hmm. I can't get enough of that human connection.
Yeah. I think it's great that you bring that offline. I think that's something that I don't see a lot of online businesses doing, is bringing it offline. And I think that's just a magical piece that you're really bringing that in.
I'm really proud to say that we still do it. So 5 years later, we could probably do a lot of the things like evergreen, but we love it. It's a lot of work. Holy heck, organizing a gala and meetups is a lot of work, but I would not take it out of my business. It is a strong part of our business model, and I think it's part of the reason why we're successful.
Yeah, definitely. I think it definitely has a lot to do with it, for sure, just from hearing about it, So, yeah. We were talking earlier about you sharing some tips with us, with the audience, about how to make your first $1,000 online.
Yeah, so super exciting. When you make that first $1,000, you feel like a rock star because you are a rock star. And if you've ever tried to sell something online, it doesn't always go as planned, right? You're like, oh yeah, I have this awesome marketing plan. I've got this launch, and then crickets. You're like, crap. So I recommend creating a list of founding members. So first you have to have a product. So that's kind of the thing too. But founding members are really powerful. And some coaches call them beta testers. I don't like to use the word beta because I feel like it's like, well, I don't know. There's something powerful behind the word. You're a founding member of this product. You are a founding member of my course, of my classes, or this specific launch, or you're a VIP. So first, it's kind of that terminology that you're going to use. And I know that many people would say, well, you're not going to charge enough by doing this. But I always recommend, if you're going into selling some sort of course or product online, start with the $97 because that 7 is magical, $4.99. But that's also strategic because people will say to their husbands and partners and even themselves, oh, it's less than $100, right?
Yeah.
So there's strength behind that. But really what you want to do is you want to find, this is crazy, but you want to find 10 friends that believe in you. And that might sound hard if you haven't really asked a lot of people or told a lot of people about your business, but you're going to have to start stepping into the CEO role. So that's the first thing, is tell yourself that you are the CEO of this new company and product that you're launching, and believe it. Don't try to pretend like it's not real. Don't say, oh, I just got this thing going on the side. You are the CEO now. You've created a product. You can do this. So the second thing is commit to that $97 and commit to finding 10 people. And you can do this because there's literally thousands of people, millions of people online. Instagram, Facebook, emails, your neighbors. And I bet your butt that you have purchased something from your friends before.
Oh, yeah.
So my approach is to say, hey, you know what, Sarah? Like, I've got this really great program, product, service that I'm offering, and I need to get my momentum going. The regular price is going to be $1,000, but for $97, will you do this with me and support me and be a founding member? And I promise it will change you in a certain way. So maybe that's weight loss or marketing or branding or something. And when you ask people that way, when they know that they can support you, they're going to say yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's an amazing part of it too, is it's almost like giving them some sort of power back, giving them some sort of something that they're going to contribute as well. So,
yeah. So when you ask people and when you're connecting with them, how I made my first $1,000 was exactly that way with the signature program. I found 10 people that were coming to the studio, or my friends or my mom, but doesn't matter. Thanks, Mom.
Right?
But I opened up that gate to money. I opened up that I was worthy, but also that I can freaking do this.
Yeah.
I can do this. And then I threw a party, of course, but I rented the back. It wasn't a party, but it was kind of cool. I treated those founding members as if they had invested $2 million in my company.
That's awesome.
I took them to a restaurant. I got some wine. I got some champagne. I gave them all a notebook with like, thank you. Here are some details of the product, of the program. And I just showed them appreciation. Mm-hmm. And then from those 10 people that started everything, I had now testimonials. They also talked about it. They were like, Megan's awesome. This program's awesome. This community's awesome. And then we started to just sell it all over.
That's awesome. And so that was Hello Life Academy. That's kind of how that came out of it.
That was the signature program. So that was great. Yeah. And then from there though, it's all a ripple effect, and it's all a growth and a journey.
Yeah.
Because people started to trust us and buy that product, we were then able to use some of those people to say, hey, like, we really appreciate what you said about the signature program. Why don't you take a look at our academy and see if it's for you?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, it was cool. But I honestly, like, for anybody listening, you really should implement this strategy. But you've got to remember, I have watched some clients do this, and then they get these people and fear creeps in and they're like, now I got to show up. Now I got to do this. But my biggest recommendation is nurture the heck out of those people. They're 10 people. Instead of looking for 100 people for your first product, nurture those 10 people and call me next year, because I bet you those 10 people will turn into 100.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think that strategy is amazing. And it really gives them more of a personal touch, which I think it sounds like that's what all your business is all about. It's that personal connection. And that's how you're so successful in what you're doing. So
yeah, we do like to do those hat touch points, but I think we were talking earlier about how you miss things too. Like, oh my gosh, we probably missed sending one person a gift or one person a card. And if I did that to you, I'm really sorry. It was a total mistake, and I will send you something. It's missing. It's missing in the online space. Do you feel that, like, people want to create these great programs, but those high touch points aren't happening?
I agree completely. And I think it's very important to not only in the online space, you need to get to know your clients as well as even in their personal life a little bit. Like, not going to ask them what they ate for breakfast or whatever, but you want to just get to know them, like their kids, their habits, that kind of thing, because that's really going to give you that connection and let them into your space as well. I think that's a really big part of what's missing online as well. So
I love that and totally agree. And I think if we can all remember that we're humans, and that we all crave connection no matter who we are, and that community can solve both of those. Like, we want to come together as humans and create things and uplift everybody. So I'm totally aligned with what you're saying, and I appreciate that you're with me on this.
Oh, 100%. I'm right there. I completely understand that. So let's recap what you just said and kind of gathered 4 points out of that.
Oh, good. Because I was like, okay, what are your 4 points?
Okay, so I gathered the first step is to tell yourself that you are the CEO, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Owning your business and just knowing that it's the right thing. The second one is committing to that $97 and finding those 10 people. Then the third step is going to be nurturing and showing them as much love and appreciation as you can, which I like the party idea. So if you're going to, I think number 3 should be really party, but
party.
Exactly. So I think number 3 is party. But then 4 is gathering the testimonials.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's awesome. Thank you. 4 points. Done. You just created my blog post.
Awesome.
I love that. Sometimes I get so carried away, but that would be a perfect summary of what to do. And this will do so many different things for entrepreneurs and women if you're brand new too, because it creates this confidence.
Yeah.
It's all about confidence. So if you can really shift into CEO mindset, and when you get that first person and they give you $97, you're going to dance. You're going to feel so good. And then the floodgates open, and then we can talk about 2 years later into your entrepreneur journey where the floodgates kind of go, oh my gosh, what's happening? I'm a CEO now. Yeah. But and celebrate with a party. I love that. And it doesn't have to cost a lot. This is the other kind of mistake too, that I watch people do, is they say, well, I can't really nurture my clients because I don't have money. Mm-hmm. Most churches or spaces will give you their space for next to nothing if you talk about them or tag them or say, I will book every quarter, but I need this first one. It's all about kind of that art of negotiating too.
It's a really good point that you don't have to spend thousands of dollars just nurturing them. You can figure out a way to do it on a budget and give them, it's just about that experience and showing them the gratitude.
Yeah, the dollar stores have cards for next to nothing. Send your clients or old friends snail mail. Mm-hmm. That is modern marketing. Relationships are the art and the foundation of a really strong business.
Yeah, I think it's a great testimonial to what you're doing and that human touch in your business. Everything that you do just has this kind of warm hug around it. It sounds like it to me. I don't know.
Thank you. I'm going to add that to my marketing. If you need a warm hug today, please join us.
Yeah. I can just picture all these women sitting by the pool and the cabana and just, I don't know. That's the feeling that I get. So.
Yeah. And we've done cool things too, where we sit around a fire and we actually had s'mores and hot chocolate and Baileys. And these are experiences that I know some people are like, well, why do you do those things? And I'm like, everybody wants to feel joy. And as busy humans, we forget what brings us joy. So by doing these simple things, we went for a bike ride in Palm Springs, and I can't even tell you how many people asked. First, everyone was like, I don't want to get on the bike. I don't want to get on the bike. I haven't cycled in years. I'm nervous. I have some of those clients saying, we implemented bike riding onto our teams. We're doing it next week, or I went and bought a bike. And that's awesome. It was because it was pure, although we teach business strategy, this is the stuff that reminds you why you're doing your business. And it also reminds you that life is fun. Mm-hmm. So, and try new things. So the bike thing was a little bit of a psychology experience for us too. We're if people keep saying that they can't do something, that they don't want to do it, they're not going to do it. But if they see other people moving forward in this community, they will do it. And that's what happened. One person got on the bike and she rode around and she was giggling and it was awesome. And then another person went, and then another person went. And it was just this nice, beautiful sense of we've got each other, even though.
And we're going to do it together. And it'll be more fun, obviously, together. But
always.
That's cool. That's awesome. So you gave us a really good overview of how to make your first $1,000 online. And I think that's such an easy formula for people to follow. And I think you have added so much value to the listeners, especially those who haven't gotten started or who are just afraid to get started. They don't know what they're doing. There's so much of that out there, but I think you have added so much to that. So I thank you tremendously for that. And I do want to ask you another question, and that is, what is your favorite part about being able to be at home with your kids and working from home?
Oh, this is great. I can hear them. I don't know if anybody else can hear them stomping up the stairs.
Nope, not right now.
Okay, good. My favorite part about being able to work from home is I don't have to be anywhere at a specific time and feel anxious about being late or anxious about making sure my hair looks okay and all of those really fun things. I think my favorite part is the freedom And that's just the simplest way to say it is it's freedom. Like today I get to do this great podcast with you. Then I get to hop in my car and drive to British Columbia. And then tomorrow I'm doing some more interviews, and that feels good. And I love having my son, because he's still home, sit on the couch and watch what I'm doing. Like he probably thinks it's boring, like completely boring, but he won't ever forget this, and neither will Kinsley. Like they're going to see this and they're going to be like, yeah, my mom did. Yeah. And that's, to me, freedom. They have the freedom to choose if they want to go work somewhere or like a 9 to 5. And I'm not against that. Or be an entrepreneur and see that it's possible. So there's so many favorites. I mean, I move my office every month. Nobody has to say, like right now it's in the basement. I'm sure next month it'll be back upstairs. And then I have it in my, bedroom sometimes, but that's also super fun. And then my other favorite thing, now that I'm sorry, I just like keep going.
No,
my favorite part, although having a team can be quite difficult and managing that is not my strength. I will admit that. But my favorite part has been giving women the opportunity to work for us and give them money. I really love paying people. I get a lot of joy from sending them their payments and saying like, thank you so much, because that's our biggest mission, is to provide women with the financial freedom. So I think that's my favorite part. Although sometimes if you ask me on a day where I'm not having a good team day, I'd be like, that's my least favorite part. But right now I feel a lot of gratitude for being able to pay people.
Yeah, I love that part too. And I make it a mission in my business to try to employ moms whenever I can. Everyone on my team right now is a contractor, but even my SEO, like my go-to right-hand SEO girl, she's a mom.
Yeah.
She's awesome. So
I think it's a pretty cool thing. I love that you do that as well, because we get it. We understand that asking your partner for $20 because you want to go have dinner or coffee with a friend sucks. I don't care who you are. Yeah. Asking for money is not very comfortable. And by having our businesses, we get to give them freedom. Yeah. It's pretty freaking cool, right? Like, yeah. And like, yeah, we're moms. I would have loved if somebody gave me these opportunities years ago instead of kind of crushing my spirits drawing pipeline maps.
Yeah. That's a really good point. I think we've all had our spirits crushed by some job or another in our past. I think is it a rite of passage or what? I don't know.
I remember my job, my boss actually told me, you need to stop talking so much. And I was like, oh, you want me to change my personality? Like, this is going to be quite difficult. So, but yeah, that was kind of the beginning of the end. So. Yeah, that happens quite easily. Going back to what you were talking about your kids watching you, I agree with that. My kids watch me all the time, and they're always like, are you done work yet? Because I'm like always in the office. Yeah. But something interesting that happened the other day is that my 8-year-old, so a while ago, I think back in January, I was having her, this is so funny, I was having her source SEO clients. I literally was like, okay, now what you do is you copy this and you paste it into the spreadsheet when you find one. It was so funny. And so literally she came to me the other day and she's like, Mom, you know that thing that you had me do when I was working for you? She's like, I really liked it and I want to do it again. I'm like, okay. Oh, I love that. Yeah. So I didn't know that she even liked it. I just had her do it one day. I was like, here, I just need you to do this. So I have this spreadsheet filled out. And she was totally on it because they're all over the computer at school. So she was, it's funny, but yeah. That's inspiring because we often forget that our kids can do a lot more than what we think. So I know, right? You wouldn't know how to do this, but now that you've showed me this, my daughter is almost 8. She'll be 8 in 2 weeks. So I'm like, maybe I should get her to do some stuff. Yeah, definitely. Cool. Those mailing labels on those care packages you're sending out, and right? You are a genius. I just hired my 8-year-old daughter. Awesome. And you can pay her in LOL dolls, I'm sure. Oh, I know. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? That's smart. Don't put her on your payroll though. Don't put her wait a minute. Under the table LOL dolls. Why are there so many Slurpees on this? No, that's super fun. It's true. And you think, Okay, one of the things that I love too is like one day I hope my kids are shareholders in the company. And again, that creates a little bit of financial freedom for them too. So there's always this bigger picture thinking that, okay, Kinsley could be the CFO of my company in 10 years and Rhett could be the something. And I think that's pretty cool. Even my partner, he has shares in the company too. So I think that's pretty friggin' cool, right? So you can, I just have to say, like, if you're listening and you're kind of at that beginning stage and you're getting your first $1,000, just friggin' believe in it. Believe in it because you're going to do it and you're going to have speed bumps, but keep it up. Just keep speeding.
Yeah, that's great advice. And I think that applies to any type of business, no matter what it is, whether it's coaching or, I mean, there's literally like every kind of business that would apply to. So I think that's great advice.
Yeah, for sure. I love everything about it. And I just have to thank you so much for having me and on the show.
Yeah,
I'm excited
definitely.
to watch what's happening with your business too. It's been really cool. I stalked you a bunch of times.
Well, good. I've been stalking you too. So
Oh, we're really friends. Yeah, stalking friends. You'll have to come to Banff or Palm Springs and hook up.
Yeah, I would love that actually. That would be a huge, I literally never do anything, which is bad to say, but I just basically don't do anything. So that would be a huge, a change for me. I don't know how I would handle it. I'd be like, wait, there's no one to feed or bathe or, like, I don't know what to do.
You'd have to put yourself in your daughter's shoes right now because she's feeling the same fear.
Yeah, that's very true.
So, if you.
But there's no bears in Palm Springs, right?
No, it's like, yeah. And in the winter when we do our gala, so the gala is where we give women awards and we celebrate everybody. And it's a masquerade ball this year, which is so cool.
That's cool.
There's no bears because it's November, so the bears are gone.
Oh, that's awesome. Right. No bears.
Perfect. Yeah, and it's only, I think, a 13-hour drive for you, so you'll be good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You're like, oh no.
Even just the drive would probably be enough for me. Like 13 hours alone, like not sleeping, that would be really cool.
I know. I like, I've kind of contemplated even this weekend not heading to BC because I was like, ooh, my family can go and I'll stay here. But you know what we do when we stay? We work.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
You got to take those breaks.
Yeah, I agree. So, Megan, tell everybody how they can find you on the internet.
Oh, on the internet. You can find me at hellolifeacademy.com and make sure you check out all the free resources and the blog posts. And we host a lot of webinars, a lot of meetups, a lot of events, a lot of free things to get women going in the right direction. And so that's the website, but you can also just search #HelloLifeAcademy on the IG. And don't be a stranger. Make sure you check out all that good stuff because we celebrate a lot of women and there's a lot of resources on there and I love doing it. So,
okay, that sounds great. Well, don't be shy. Definitely stalk Megan.
In a really nice way.
In a really nice way, in the best of ways. Thank you so much for being on the show. And I am super excited about seeing where your Hello Life Academy goes. I have a feeling it's going to blow up. So
thank you so much for having me. It's been amazing. I love chatting with you.
You too. This episode of the Determined Mom Show is brought to you by Online Marketing for Moms, the only marketing membership created especially to teach mom business owners SEO and many other marketing tools, systems, and strategies. Join today at onlinemarketingformoms.com. Use code PODCAST to get 20% off of your monthly or annual membership.